Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's me, Truthlight Gaming. Thank you for supporting me for so long. You know how it is. Smash that like button if you want more. Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm going to be going over the Leviathan fight. Here we are. I decided to use arieth, barret and cloud. I've got lightning elemental on cloud and barret. So barret's going to be doing lightning damage a lot. So he's going to be weak to that. We've got lightning on all three, and I've got magnify so that I can defend against any kind of damage. There isn't a water one, so we can't defend against that. I think it's definitely going to be tough if you are under leveled, so make sure you've got the right amount of level. What you want to do is you want to get him to the pressured mode, so you want to be using your magic, but not too much because you don't want to deplete your MP. But at this stage you've got almost everything, so you want to be using stop, slow, you want to be using poison, you want to be using thundara, thundaga, you want to be using arieth, special ability judgment day, you want to be using focus shot from barret, you want to be using focus thrust from cloud there. You want to be using all of arieth's abilities. As you can see, I've put down the arcane boost. You want to be making sure you make use of your ATB gauges. You want to be swapping between the characters. You want to do the most damage that you can. You want to be trying to dodge this kind of thrust attack that Leviathan does. He does go in the air a little bit, so when he does go in the air you've got arieth and barret to use, so you've got two key characters that are long range. This is going to help you a lot to do a lot more damage. You want to protect arieth the most for the whole team, so by using barrier you're going to be protecting against magical and physical abilities, because he does a lot of attacks that I wouldn't have expected when I first played him back when I was about level 30 something. I decided to wait until I was at a higher level to get him. I didn't actually need him to complete the game, but if you really want to do a ton of damage, you want to be using thundara and thundaga together with the focus attacks. You want to build that stagger meter up, because that's when you're going to do enough damage. But at my levels I'm doing tons of damage, just basic damage. At this point he was a little bit easy, to be fair, because I am max level at this point, and I didn't really realize you could get him early on in the game. He would have been much more useful if I'd known how to get him, but the game didn't really tell you too much about the intel that much. I mean, it throws it at you several times, but I didn't really realize the first time. I was so engrossed about the game, there's so much going on, I didn't really realize how to use the combat that well. I tend to use cloud to cure and to use haste on the team. If you're faster than the enemy, you're definitely going to get some more attacks in, and your ATB gauge is going to go way up. So what I'm trying to do is get arieth's special ability up so she can use refocus, so she can use her abilities faster. You want arcane ward and ATB ward down so that you can help the team. You want to keep using them to your advantage. Arieth is just a glass house on her own, so with cloud and barret together is really cool. One thing I did do is I put lightning elemental on barret's weapon, so he's constantly doing lightning damage, so he's always going to be weak to barret's gun. If you want to use the other lightning elemental on either cloud or Tifa, depending on who you bring to the fight, then that's fine, but you want to be using your focus abilities when he's at pressured mode. You want to be using stop when he falls down. and you want to use slow and stop when he gets staggered as well. He'll give you a lot more time when you're fighting him. This is kind of like his special there. He did quite a lot of damage, so I can see why it was tough. That was the most I actually saw Leviathan do any real damage, was when he used that ability. It's kind of like a tidal wave. And there you go, he sees his beam attack. That's another one of his strong abilities. I really did enjoy this fight. I think if it was on hard mode, I would enjoy it even more. You can't use items. And the only way of healing yourself is chakra or prayer. So you'd be relying on prayer a lot and refocus, so that you can get free ATB gauges. But at this point, I just used arieth to use refocus, so she's now going to have free ATB gauges. So this is really good. But by the time I actually got refocus, I didn't even know who to summon against Leviathan because he's water. So since he's not ice, I just used Ifrit. I was going to use Chocomog. I think they both would have done the same amount of damage. It's up to you. It's just an extra added person when you summon. You can't really tell him what to do too much. You need to use ATB gauges, but at this point I'm trying to save them all to do enough damage against Leviathan.
Duty calls.
It's actually not till the end where I managed to stagger Leviathan, I think. But by that time I'd done a chunk of his damage.
It's on you.
So it's my turn? I'm here for you guys. That's it. I'll take care of you. It's your turn.
Hang back.
Here we go. At this point, all we need to do is get our health back up and then finish him off with some focus abilities, stagger him, and then use thundaga. This is pretty much my idea of what I was going to be doing, is using thundara a little bit until I can get a stagger meter up enough to pressured, and then use focus ability, and then use thundaga. So he's staggered now. He's going to fall down for quite a bit.
Take him down.
Let me teach him a lesson. Finish him off.
Enough.
How shocking.
I didn't even get to the point where I needed to use my limit breaks at this point. It was just mainly attacks, and this is pretty much how I finished him off, was thundara, I believe. This is actually where he goes up in the air, but I've got two long range characters, so Barrett and Arieth can easily take him out. I saved most of my MP for the end because I knew that he was going to fly up in the air, but Ifrit literally finished him off. There we go.
Was never in doubt.
That's literally how I finished him off. That was a great battle, actually. I really enjoyed that one.
Marvelous. Leviathan, the patron deity of Wutai, is not an enemy to be trifled with. Together, you can cleanse the world of the Shinra Scourge.
Thanks for watching, guys. You're amazing. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. I'll see you in the next one.